Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I'm playing the Tier 9 Pan-European destroyer Östergötland. This is a ship I really enjoy, but it is very tough to use it effectively, in my opinion. The guns are nowhere near as good as most Tier 9 destroyers. You don't have that many of them. You can see you've got 2 turrets, and they don't have a very good range. They don't have a very good uh, trajectory. They don't have great speed. So it's very much a torpedo boat. As I generally do, I'm going to try to help out at this cap, use the island for cover, and I will read you the general description and give you some information about this ship, Östergötland. This is all from the World of Warships Wargaming wiki. Östergötland, last of a series of destroyers of the Swedish Navy. Due to their dimensions, which were quite small for the era, they are sometimes classified as light destroyers. Their main artillery armament comprised very successful 120mm automatic dual-purpose mounts. All right, so I'll tell you about those dual-purpose mounts. You've got two barrels on each of 2 turrets for a total of 4 guns. Got a base reload, as you can see there, of 2.3 seconds. Firing range base of 9.27 kilometers, which that's not a lot. Get some torpedoes in the water and make use of this island. Now you got to be careful. You don't want to push too far out the direction that I'm going, because torpedoes sometimes will cross from the other side. And you can see where my radio location indicator is at. Looks like the Lexington plans to try and spot me. I may get a chance to shoot down an aircraft or 2 here, but I'm only going to turn on the AA if I'm spotted. So the guns, max dispersion at that maximum range, 84 meters. So you can see they're accurate, and they reload quickly. You just don't have that many of them, and that's going to mean you don't want to engage in firefights with other destroyers very often. Max AG shell damage, 1700. The torpedoes, like I was talking about, crossing that direction, with a 7% fire chance, and the maximum AP shell damage is 2150. In both cases, the initial shell velocity is 850 meters per second. It's not terrible, but it's not going to light the world on fire. Now, I almost got this cap. 3 seconds to go, and somebody got inside. I'm thinking probably Bismarck. I'm going to sit here and see whether or not I can't get torpedoes on somebody. It looks like Indrak is going to, well, no, I guess he's going to go outside. So I'll just sit and wait. Okay, there's the Bismarck. He's slowing down. So I will do what I can and move back into position here. Now the torpedoes. This is really the bread and butter of this ship. You can see the torpedoes. You've got 2 racks, and I'm just going to give you all the particulars on them. They're 533. You got 2 racks, 4 torpedoes per rack, base reload of 100 seconds. They have a maximum damage of 10,700, which is not a lot, and a torpedo speed base of 76 knots and range of 12 kilometers. Now my torpedoes just completely whiffed. We've already got somebody else in the cap. There's no reason for me to stay. We're going to lose some points here, in the cap circle, because I was in there forever. But I can't sit there long enough to get detected by the Bismarck. So I got to fall back and count on the battleship, and well, got the Nagato there. Although he's running broadside the Bismarck, he's liable to get blapped. The Nagato and our Bismarck, which you can see there on the mini-map at Echo 4, I got to count on them to help. And it looks like Bismarck's going to turn north into the island, so I'm going to try and goes out that way. And everybody's got a nice flat broadside to fire at on that Nagato. And Gabriel he's hustling. So those torpedoes, even at their speed, they may not get there in time. We'll see. Okay, landed 1, 2, 3. Picked up a flood, which he's repaired. Hopefully someone can get some HE on him. Our Weimar, well, I'm not sure exactly what he is doing there, to be honest with you. If he just sits there, he's going to die. Bismarck's going to come around the corner and blap him. It looks like he's aware of that, and he's trying to get out of there. Now, our team is actually doing pretty well. Bad guys are down a Helena and a Fletcher. But our Pommern, well, there goes Nagato. Just a matter of time, really. Our Pommern finishes off the Duke of York, but is nearly dead himself. That's 2 kills for our Pommern. Our Bismarck also really banged up. I'm not sure about his positioning when he went broadside of that island. The enemy, Östergötland, takes out our Yugamo, and our Bismarck picks up a double strike. And we are now down 3 ships. The bad guys are now down 3 ships. And they have a points lead on the back of their... Yeah, I better not. Weimar's pushing forward. They have a points lead on the back of their cap that they secured. We have guys in that cap now. Well, Bismarck goes down to Shikaku. We've already got people complaining that the game's over because they got sunk. Well, Stewie, maybe you're right, but you just never know. We're only down 3 ships now. We've got a little bit of a points lead. We've got people in the Charlie cap. I really need to get torpedoes on something, but they know that I'm here, and I'm sure they're going to be changing direction and speed.
Torpedoes astern. Engine boost activated.
Well, Stewie, again, you may be right, but nobody needs to hear you talking about how this is a certain loss just because you got sunk. There's another game that happened, and I was actually playing the Montana, and switched back to a DD, and a player in a Montana was sunk, and then spent the rest of the game essentially talking about how it was over. The team had lost. We were all horrible. Okay, I do manage to land 3 there. Picked up 2 floods, which he has repaired. Weimar might be able to... He might be able to get fire started. We'll see. I figure I maybe can help a little bit with the fire starting thing. And you heard my German shepherd there telling me somebody was outside. Well, no love on getting a fire. And we do lose the Weimar. So we are now down 5 ships. Bad guys are down 5 ships, but they've got 2 caps and we've only got 1. And the Weimar torpedoes take out Hyuga. You can see smoke there. Only thing with smoke is going to be what? Udachi? I do not want to get spotted by that guy. Well, I guess I can appreciate your confidence in your own ability there. I hope you won't mind. The rest of us are going to continue trying to win. Although, I have to give the bad guys the edge here. Even though, you know, we're doing okay, they've got those 2 caps, and our positioning is not too great here. Duke of York is trying to push in. Oh, there's the Udachi. I'm going to try and beat him up a little bit. Now I'm taking fire from Georgia and Udachi, and now Andrak. So I've got to try and get away. Just cover that whole area if I can. Try and go dark.
Problem solved, sir.
Using the island so that the only thing that can see me and hit me with guns is the Udachi, and now he's gone. Well, we've got a request from our Baltimore to report our Shiratsuyu.
I need intelligence data.
Of course, I haven't really seen him do anything other than ask for intelligence data. The radar cruiser. Well, what are you going to do? I think he could have come this way a long time ago. I can understand wanting to stay away from Georgia, but Indirect, I think the AP on the Baltic could wreck the Indirect. I'm trying to tell him where he's at. And if we're able to sink this guy, I need to get into cap right away. And then hope that Balti will run for the Bravo cap. Come on, Balti. Yeah, might not need the Balti. CB's going to get him. I just need the cap.
Boost activated.
And our Bolognese, he's gone. So I've got a cap. We're down to 4 ships. Bad guys still have 5. We are at a decided disadvantage. Shiratsuyu looks like he's just sitting broadside in smoke. I expect him to get sunk any second. Inexperienced or just, kind of unaware DD player there, I think, in the Shiratsuyu. I didn't see anything else that he did this game, but somebody complaining about him and wanting him reported must mean that he hasn't done a whole heck of a lot. And the fact that he's just sitting there broadside in smoke, dumping his torpedoes, he should be running right now. Yeah, here come the bad guy torpedoes. And, managed to avoid those. But George is pushing him. Yeah, he's dead. He just sat there too long. Well, Dragor, I'm sure you did your best. It's not an easy game to learn. So I need to catch, I'm guessing, the Udachi out here. And to secure the cap. Before I do that, maybe I can get torpedoes on Georgia, maybe? Okay, he's going to go north. I can push south and just have a gunfight here. And there might be 2 of them. I got to keep my eyes open for the other DD. There's the Udachi. So I am seriously outgunned here. Maybe I can catch the Udachi with a torp. Got some help from Balti now. Just checking on the position of the island. I don't want to run into it. And I finish off the Östergötland. He just wants to run broadside, that's fine. I can put out the fire. And take that shot without being seen because Udachi was still in the smoke. Now, Balti should be running and angling. He does not want Georgia to get guns on him there. But like a Shiratsuyu, I think our Balti sat there a little too long, and he's going to be broadside more or less when Georgia comes around that corner. This might go really bad for our Balti. But we've got to finish off Georgia, and then I can try and chase down the Udachi despite the aircraft from Lexington. It's going to be tense. They've got more than double our score. Balti might be able to finish Georgia if he's aiming high enough. Radio location is almost certainly identifying Georgia, which means Udachi fell back. I'm going to catch Georgia right on the nose. Boom. Down he goes.
We destroyed an
And unfortunately, it's now 2-3. Now, the Udachi player, I think he has some idea of what he's doing. The setup, I don't know about. I have to assume that he does. But he's in between a bunch of islands right now, and that might create an opportunity for me. I've got torpedoes back up in 11 seconds. And I should have the range. I'm going to continue pushing in here. I'm guessing radio location is IDing him, not the Udachi. And if he continues, okay, there's Udachi. If he continues the direction he's going, I think I might get that battleship. Now, if I do, I'm going to have to try and chase the Udachi down. It's looking really bad. Bad guys have 2 caps. We only have 1. We're down, well, a lot. You can see our Bismarck now, the guy that died really early and then began telling us all this was a loss, are complaining about DDs and the CV. Well, I feel like I played all right. You know, not great, of course, but okay. There they are. Are they all going to? Yes. Setup goes down. And the CV and myself, between us, 5 ships if we add in that Pommern. 8 of the 12 enemy ships. Now we can see where the Udachi must be.
Engine boost activated.
But there's just not enough time here. We've got less than 3 minutes, well, 2.5 minutes really. And even if we finish off Udachi, it's not going to be enough. We would need, basically I would need to have already secured the Bravo cap and be headed for Charlie now to have any chance at all. And I'm sure the Lexington is probably sitting at J10. And I can't hit the Udachi. He's running away from me. He's at the literal limit of my gun range. So if I fire now, but however many seconds it takes for the shot to get there, he'll have outrun it. Maybe I can catch him coming around this corner. But I have to watch for torpedoes myself through that same gap. So I have to decide whether I'm going to try and risk that or run to the south of that island. Now, I really hope Shikaku is going to keep the Udachi spotted rather than just drop and run, but we'll see. Because he's in my gun range now, if I can hit him. No easy task, and again, 4 barrels. That's all I got. And come on, CV, get him lit up. Okay, engine out, slowed down there for a second. Oh, my shells are dropping all around him, nothing hitting him. And I'm going to go behind the island here. And I'm just going to have to run south. Well, did the best I could, but, well, Bismarck plainly thought that I should gun him down, quote unquote,
Engine boost deactivated.
with these incredible guns. Now, the CV, he did all he could. I can't really hold it against him that he didn't keep this guy spotted. There's no way to know that I would have been able to finish him off. And even if I had, it would not have made any difference. It wouldn't. I mean, with 25 seconds left in the game, there just isn't enough time. So it was a fun game. If you haven't played the Östergötland or any of the destroyers in this line, I really recommend it. They're a lot of fun to play. It can be a little crippling at times not having smoke, but if you're careful, you can survive into the late game and sometimes be very effective. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.